Alexis Sharkey created her YouTube channel in 2019, though she would only upload 10 videos in total, most of which were travel vlogs with a couple of fashion videos thrown in. She was 26 years old and grew up in Youngsville, Pennsylvania. She graduated from the University of Pittsburgh at Bradford with a degree in biology and moved to Houston in January 2020 with her husband, Thomas Sharkey. Though her following on YouTube was quite small, she built a larger following on Instagram and TikTok, where she posted about wellness, travel, and skincare. She worked with Monat, a multi-level marketing company that sells hair and skincare products, and had worked her way up to an executive director. To anyone scrolling through her feed, Alexis seemed like a happy woman who loved life, but according to friends, that wasn't the full picture. In October 2020, during a trip to Marfa, Texas, Alexis confided in a friend that she was afraid. The friend later said Alexis seemed scared for her life, though she didn't specify who or what she was afraid of. Other friends mentioned that Alexis and Tom were having problems. The marriage, which had only started in December 2019, was already unraveling, and there was talk of a divorce. On October 25, 2020, Alexis spoke with her mother. They were making plans for Christmas. 2 days later, on October 27th, Alexis was last seen alive around 6 p.m. After that, she stopped responding to calls and texts, which friends said was unusual since she was normally attached to her phone. Tom later told police that they'd argued that evening because she wanted to drive after drinking, and he told her not to. He claimed she left anyway. The next morning, on October 28th, a city sanitation worker spotted something in the bushes along Red Hall Lane in West Houston. At first, he wasn't sure what he was seeing. He called his supervisor, who drove out with another worker to check. They found Alexis. She was naked, and it was clear she hadn't walked there herself. There was no evidence she tried to hide, and no sign of her belongings nearby. Tom identified her body at the medical examiner's office later that day. In an interview with local news, he said Alexis wasn't as happy as she appeared on social media. He said he'd been operating with detectives and that their marriage had been fine. He ended the interview by saying he was destroyed. About 2 weeks after Alexis was found, Tom left Texas, where he didn't arrange a funeral for his wife. The medical examiner changed her next of kin to her mother. The family held a private service on December 19th, keeping it secret from Tom. On January 19, 2021, 7 weeks after her body was discovered, the Harris County medical examiner ruled Alexis' death a homicide. She'd been strangled. Police continued their investigation, but publicly there were no arrests. Behind the scenes, detectives were focusing on Tom. They confirmed there had been a history of domestic violence in the marriage, and that Alexis had been talking about ending it. In early August 2021, Tom agreed to meet with detectives to provide a DNA sample. He was living in Georgia at the time. Detectives went there, but Tom never showed up. Police said he later gave what they described as a bizarre explanation for why he disappeared. Shortly after, he moved to Florida. By late September, Houston police had gathered enough evidence. On September 29, 2021, they obtained a warrant for Tom's arrest. Detectives said he was the only person with the motive, means, and opportunity to kill Alexis. They described the case as domestic violence that escalated when she tried to leave. On October 5th, authorities learned Tom was staying with his daughter and her partner in Fort Myers, Florida. Just after 1 a.m. on October 6th, U.S. Marshals arrived to arrest him. When Tom realized what was happening, he ran upstairs and shot himself in the head. He died at the scene. Police later confirmed that neither Tom nor his family had known about the warrant before the marshals showed up. Tom's death meant there would never be a trial, and no chance for Alexis' family to get justice for her death. Police held a press conference after Tom's death and stated clearly that Tom Sharkey was responsible for his wife's murder. Detectives said he'd been untruthful during investigation, and he even tried to redirect suspicion towards other people. Alexis' mother had believed from the beginning that her daughter was murdered. The case officially closed with Tom's suicide, but for Alexis' family and friends, closure never really happened. The person responsible is dead, but there was no public accounting and no moment in court where the facts were laid out and justice was formally declared. What remains is what detectives concluded: that Tom Sharkey killed his wife when she tried to leave him, and when he was finally going to be held accountable, he chose to take his own life instead. Alexis' channel is still up today, though of course no new videos will ever be posted to it again. Tom actually shows up in several videos on the channel, and seeing the two here, you'd never guess that not long after, their marriage would fall apart, and that Alexis would be murdered by her own husband. Asad Shah made his YouTube channel in 2013, and though he only ever amassed 170 subscribers, he uploaded over 300 videos, so he was certainly persistent. He was born in Rabwa, Pakistan, and moved to Glasgow, Scotland with his family in the late 1990s. He ran a convenience store in the Shorelands area of the city, and by all accounts, he was deeply loved by his community. People who knew him described him as gentle, generous, and someone who went out of his way to help his customers. He'd print his own Christmas cards each year with personal messages for the people who came into his shop. Asad was an Ahmadi Muslim, which is a minority sect within Islam. On his YouTube channel, he posted videos about his spiritual beliefs, mostly filmed inside his shop. In fact, they'd usually be filmed during opening hours, as he'd sometimes have to stop speaking to the camera to go and serve customers.
We are blessed this life on this earth.
Yeah.
Hello.
These rolls are quite fresh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Today
How are you okay?
Fine, thanks. Can I take them?
Good. How's my little prince okay?
Yeah, it's okay.
Behaving?
It's all back at the moment.
Alright.
Can I take them?
How many? 6?
6 is not too much. What?
How many you are? 4?
5.
5.
I just take one out.
Is everything okay? Family okay?
Fine, thank you. How much is that now?
125. Okay. So both doing well. So pass my regard to them and let them know, come and see me because I didn't see them from
Well,
ladies.
this is going to job, isn't it? So that's why I can message to that battlefield and he's
Yeah.
stopped me all the time.
Just let him know. Uncle was asking and missing you. Go and see him.
So he said to me, I'm going to ask Uncle, like, come love the friend for that.
Alright.
And he says, I'm going to see you.
Okay, yeah, send him so I will see what happens.
I'll tell you, he said
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
He talked about peace, compassion, and the importance of treating others with kindness. In one video he recorded, he spoke about the Brussels bombings and talked about how humanity was created to live together in love without violence or bloodshed. His message was consistent across his content. He believed deeply in interfaith harmony, but also seemed to view himself as something of a prophet. On March 24, 2016, Asad posted a message on Facebook wishing his customers a happy Easter. He wrote, "Good Friday and a very happy Easter, especially to my beloved Christian nation. Let's follow the footstep of beloved Holy Jesus and get the real success in both worlds." That evening, around 9:05 p.m, a man entered Asad's shop. His name was Tranvir Ahmed, a 32-year-old taxi driver from Bradford, England. Ahmed had driven roughly 200 miles from Bradford, specifically to confront Asad. According to witnesses, Ahmed spoke to Asad in their native language before pulling out a knife. He stabbed Asad repeatedly. Asad tried to escape, running outside the shop, but Ahmed followed him and continued the attack. Asad's brother Athad and another passerby tried to intervene, but the assault was too violent. After Asad collapsed, Ahmed stomped on his head and face repeatedly. When Ahmed finished, he walked to a nearby bus shelter and sat down. He waited there calmly for the police to arrive. When officers approached him, he told them, "I respect what you do, and I have nothing against you, and so I'm not going to hurt you. I've broken the law and appreciate how you are treating me." Asad was taken to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Ahmed was arrested at the scene. While in custody, he issued a statement through his lawyer explaining why he killed Asad. He said, "This all happened for one reason and no other issues, and no other intentions. Asad Shah disrespected the messenger of Islam, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Mr. Shah claimed to be a prophet." The claim about prophethood related to Assad's YouTube videos, where Asad had claimed the status of a prophet. In mainstream Islam, Muhammad is considered the only prophet, so Ahmed viewed this as blasphemy. Ahmed added in his statement that if he hadn't acted, others would have, and there would have been more violence. The murder shocked Scotland. Hundreds of people attended vigils for Asad, including Scotland's First Minister Nicola Sturgeon. A GoFundMe page set up for his family raised over £100,000 in just 4 days. Customers left flowers outside his shop and shared memories of his kindness. On July 7, 2016, Tanvir Ahmed pleaded guilty to murder. On August 9th, he was sentenced to life in prison with a minimum of 27 years. The judge told Ahmed that his crime was motivated by a sense of offense at Assad's religious beliefs, which differed from his own. She made it clear there was no justification for what he'd done. When Ahmed heard his sentence, he shouted in court, "Muhammad is the prophet. He is the only one." His supporters in the public gallery chanted back in solidarity. While serving his sentence in prison, Ahmed continued to boast about the murder. The Scottish Prison Service later confirmed they were monitoring Ahmed's phone calls after messages from him appeared on YouTube. In Pakistan, some religious leaders reacted to Assad's death with celebration rather than condemnation. An anti-Ahmadi group sent out a message of congratulations when news of the murder broke. Ahmed became a hero to certain extremist circles. Assad Shah is remembered by his community as someone who embodied the values he preached in his YouTube videos. He believed in peace and treating people with respect, regardless of their faith, and building bridges between different communities. His murder was the first major anti-Ahmadi attack in the UK and raised concerns about religious sectarianism spreading to Britain. For people who knew him and bought things from his shop and received those handwritten Christmas cards, Assad Shah really was more than just a shopkeeper. He was a friend. Martin Hett made his YouTube channel all the way back in the early days of the site, way back in 2007. His videos were mostly just short clips he'd film on his camera, and none of them really got any attention, apart from one video entitled "My Mother's Homophobic Cat."
I'm gay. I'm homosexual.
Though he'd soon find fame in a different kind of content. Martin was a PR manager and social media coordinator who worked for a firm called Rumpus in Altrincham, Manchester. But his real claim to fame was his online presence built around one thing: a huge love of Coronation Street. In 2012, he started creating YouTube videos about the British soap opera that gained huge popularity with a particular kind of fan. His most popular upload was a compilation of the character Audrey Roberts saying at the end of sentences. The video racked up over 500,000 views, and it became known as the Audrey Roberts noise, and people started referring to Martin as the original creator of that viral sensation. His dedication to Coronation Street went well beyond YouTube. He had a tattoo of the character Deirdre Barlow inked onto his left calf, which he got done on the Channel 4 reality show Tattoo Fixers. The tattoo gained attention on social media and became part of his identity online. In 2014, Martin appeared on Couples Come Dine With Me with his partner Russell Hayward. Like Martin, Russell was also a huge Coronation Street fan, which came through during the episode. It gave him another platform and added to his growing profile as someone who turned enthusiasm for a soap opera into actual media appearances. On Twitter, Martin had 9,000 followers. People found him active, funny, and just the kind of person they enjoyed following. Another quirk of his was that he listed Mariah Carey as his religious view on Facebook. His Twitter bio said, "My life peaked when I met Mariah Carey." He wasn't being ironic either. He genuinely adored Mariah Carey and had actually met her at some point, as there's video evidence of this, and he considered it one of his life's greatest achievements.
I love you! Honey! Mariah! Sorry. Yes, I love you. Oh my God! Mariah! Can you give this to her?
Martin also worked as a freelance journalist. He wrote pieces for HuffPost UK about Coronation Street, pop culture, and what he called, quote, washed-up 90s divas. His writing had the same energy as his social media presence. He knew his interests were niche, and he leaned into that completely. In May 2017, Martin had finished up at his job. His last day at the Rumpus office was the week before. He'd planned on an 8-week trip across America and had taken leave to make it happen. It was supposed to be his holiday of a lifetime. Before leaving, he wanted to celebrate with friends and mark the occasion properly. On May 22nd, he went to Manchester Arena to see Ariana Grande perform. He was there with several friends, celebrating both his upcoming trip and one of their birthdays. He was having the exact kind of night he'd been looking forward to. Near the end of the show, Martin went to get drinks. He tweeted about sneaking out during the Macy Gray song and noticed that the entire arena had the same idea for a bathroom break. He was waiting in the city room, a public foyer at the arena, when Salman Abedi detonated a homemade device at 10:31 p.m. Martin was standing approximately 4 meters from the bomber when the explosion happened. A travel-safe officer reached him shortly afterward and gently shook his shoulder. There was no response. He was confirmed dead at 11:44 p.m. The post-mortem examination found he'd suffered severe injuries to his head, neck and torso that were unsurvivable. He would have been unconscious immediately. 22 people died that night, not counting Abedi, and over 1,000 were injured. It was the deadliest terrorist attack in the UK since the 7/7 bombings in London in 2005. Martin's partner Russell Hayward had to wait through an agonizing period of uncertainty before getting confirmation. He posted, "We got the news last night that our wonderful, iconic and beautiful Martin didn't survive. He left this world exactly how he lived, the center of attention." When Mariah Carey heard about his death, She posted a photo of Martin wearing one of her tour shirts to Instagram.
Hi, I'm just going to pretend I'm talking to Martin, and I am talking to your spirit, and I just wanted to say that I love you, and I'm so happy that we got a chance to meet, and I know that you're shining down on us from heaven, and I'm happy that all your family and your friends could gather together in honor of you, and that I played a small role in your life is a huge honor to me, and I just want to send love to everyone there that's there to honor your life. God bless you.
The production team of Coronation Street installed a memorial bench on the show set for Martin and all the victims. Cast members from the show attended his funeral. His mother went on to campaign for legislations called Martin's Law, which would standardize security checks at large venues. She was later awarded an OBE for her counter-terrorism work. Martin's channel is still up today, though of course is sadly abandoned. Like everyone else who died that night, he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Kachan Kumari was from Ludhiana, Punjab in India and was known to her online fans as Kamal Kaur Babi. She was a popular content creator who had amassed a large following on social media, with roughly 384,000 followers on Instagram and 236,000 subscribers on her YouTube channel, Funny Barbie TV. Kamal Kaur was known for her comedic skits and bold, unapologetic persona, often using colourful language in her videos. This outspoken style made her both beloved by many and controversial to others. In early June 2025, Kamal left her home for what she said was a promotional event in Bathinda, Punjab. She informed her family on June 9th that she would be travelling for this work trip, but after that day, they were unable to reach her, and tragically, she would never return home. Late on June 11th, 2025, local authorities in Bathinda made a grim discovery. A woman's body was found in the back seat of a locked car parked near Adesh Medical University. A foul odour coming from the car had led locals to call the police, who broke in and found the decomposed body inside. The victim was soon identified as Kamal Kaur. Police immediately treated Kamal's death as a likely homicide and launched an investigation. The condition of the body and the circumstances clearly indicated foul play. An autopsy later confirmed that she had died from asphyxia caused by strangulation. This finding, along with other evidence, left no doubt that Kamal Kaur had been murdered. As the investigation unfolded, officers learned that Kamal had been the target of serious threats before her death. In fact, in late 2024, she had received a violent warning from a Canada-based gangster named Arshdeep Singh Gill, also known as Arsh Della, over her social media posts. In an audio message attributed to him, he accused Kamal of, quote, spreading filth and corrupting the youth with her online content. He warned her that if she didn't take down her videos, she could be killed, a sign of the danger she faced from those angered by her content. On June 13th, just a few days after the murder, police arrested two suspects, 32-year-old Jaspreet Singh and 21-year-old Nimratijit Singh, both members of the Nihang sect of Sikhs. Investigators allege that these two, along with a man named Amritpal Singh, had plotted and carried out the killing. 30-year-old Amritpal Singh was a self-styled radical Sikh preacher, and he was identified as the presumed mastermind behind the crime. According to police, he had even approached Kamal under the pretense of a business opportunity to lure her in. Within hours of the murder on June 9th, Amritpal fled India on a flight to the United Arab Emirates to evade arrest. The motive for the murder appeared to be what authorities described as moral policing. The two arrested men told police that they decided to kill Kamal because she was posting, quote, immoral and vulgar content online that they believed offended their community's values. In their view, her bold style was an affront to cultural and religious sentiments. In a video that surfaced after the murder, Amritpal Singh himself claimed responsibility and said that nothing was wrong in silencing someone who, in his view, spread obscenity. He and his accomplices had allegedly warned Kamal Kaur earlier to stop creating such content, but she did not back down. Kamal Kaur's violent death stunned her fan community and the public in Punjab. Back in her hometown, Kamal's family and supporters were left devastated by the news. As of this video, the two men remain in custody, with their trial having begun in October 2025. Amritpal Singh, the alleged mastermind, is still on the run and remains a fugitive, and authorities are working to track him down and seek his extradition from abroad. Whether he's brought to justice or not will not change the fact that Kamal Kaur was brutally murdered just because some religious fanatics didn't approve of her content. Gabby Petito started her YouTube channel in 2013, but she wouldn't post anything on it until 2021, when she changed the name to Nomadic Static and uploaded one video entitled Van Life, Beginning Our Van Life Journey. Since uploading the video in August 2021, it's amassed over 12 million views, but unfortunately, it would be the only video ever uploaded to the channel. Gabby was born on March 19, 1998, in Blue Point, Long Island, New York. She graduated from Bayport Blue Point High School in 2017, and she worked jobs in food service and retail while figuring out what direction to take her life. She had a dream of seeing the country, living in a van and filming her travels. She met Brian Laundrie when they were teenagers. Over time, they grew close and eventually moved to Florida to live with him and his family in Northport. In 2020, they got engaged. Gabby moved back in with her family for a short period in early 2021, but later rejoined Brian to prepare for a long-term road trip. They bought and converted a 2012 Ford Transit van into a small camper, outfitting it with a bed, shelves, and camping supplies. The trip was supposed to last about 4 months, covering the western United States. They left New York in early July 2021. They traveled through Kansas, Colorado, Utah, and Wyoming, and Gabby posted photos regularly on Instagram. She was trying to build an online presence around their journey. On August 12th, they were stopped by police in Moab, Utah, after someone called 911 to report what they believed was a domestic disturbance. Officers found the van and separated Gabby and Brian to talk to them individually. Gabby was crying and visibly anxious in the body cam footage. She told police they had been arguing and said she had hit Brian. Brian said he tried to calm her down.
Is there something on your cheek here? Looks like, did you get hit in the face? Kind of looks like something like hit you in the face. And then over on your arm, shoulder, right here. That's new, huh? It's kind of a new mark.
Oh yeah, I don't know.
Can I see the other side of your face? So, what happened here and here?
I'm not sure. It was a first thing really fast. I was just trying to get in the back of the car and his backpack was on the back. And it got me.
So the backpack got you? So there's two people that came to us and told us that they saw him hit you. There's two people saying that they saw him punch you. We're just independent witnesses by Moonflower.
Well, to be honest, I definitely hit him first.
Where'd you hit him?
I slapped him in the face.
You slapped him first? And then what, just on his face?
He gets kind of just shut up.
How many times did you slap him?
Just a couple.
And then what? And then his reaction was to do what?
Grab my arm so I wouldn't slap him.
He just grabbed you?
Yeah.
Did he hit you though? I mean, it's okay if you're saying you hit him, and then I understand if he hit you, but we want to know the truth if he actually hit you.
I guess, yeah, but I hit him first.
Where did he hit you? Don't worry, just be honest.
He grabbed my face, like, I guess. He didn't hit me in the face, like, he didn't punch me in the face or anything.
Did he slap your face or what?
Well, he grabbed me with his nail, and I guess that's why it looks. I definitely have a cut right here because I can feel it when I touch it. It burns. But
okay.
Officers decided not to make an arrest. They separated them for the night, with Gabby staying in the van and Brian being taken to a hotel. The case was closed without charges. They reunited the next day and kept traveling. Gabby continued to post to Instagram, including a final set of photos on August 25th. That same day, she had a phone call with her mother and said they were heading into Grand Teton National Park. That was the last confirmed contact. Over the next few days, her family received text messages from her phone, but they didn't sound like her. On August 30th, a message read, "No service in Yosemite," which didn't line up with the couple's last known location. On September 1st, Brian Laundrie returned to Northport, Florida, driving the van, but Gabby wasn't with him. He made no attempt to contact her family, and he did not report her missing. On September 11th, Gabby's mother filed a missing persons report in Suffolk County, New York. The case was quickly transferred to Florida authorities, who found the van parked at the Laundrie home. Gabby's belongings were still inside. Brian refused to speak to investigators. His family told police they were instructed not to talk. On September 17th, they reported Brian missing, saying he had gone for a hike on the 13th and never came back. By this point, public interest had exploded. The case was being covered daily by national media. On September 19th, the FBI and National Park Service found human remains near the Spread Creek Dispersed Camping Area in Bridger Teton National Forest in Wyoming. The area had been closed off earlier in the week after a couple shared dashcam footage showing Gabby and Brian's van parked there on August 27th. 2 days later, the remains were confirmed to be Gabby's. The coroner ruled her death a homicide and later specified that she had died from manual strangulation. The time of death was determined as 3 to 4 weeks before the discovery. A search for Brian Laundrie continued through September and into October. On October 20th, investigators found human remains in Mayakachi Creek Environmental Park, not far from Brian's home. Items belonging to Brian were found nearby, including a notebook. The FBI later confirmed that Brian died by from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. In the notebook, he wrote that he had killed Gabby, calling it a, quote, merciful act after she was injured, an explanation not supported by evidence. The FBI officially closed the investigation in January 2022, confirming Brian Laundrie was solely responsible for Gabby Petito's death. Her family filed civil suits later, including one against Brian's parents, alleging they had knowledge of her death and deliberately chose not to share that information while pretending she was still missing. As I said, Gabby's channel only ever had one video uploaded to it. The channel still links to Gabby's Instagram and the website she created for the channel called nomadecstatic.com. But now the website shows a tribute for Gabby, telling of how she was murdered by her fiancé when she was only 22 years old. It also raises awareness for domestic violence and links to a separate website called the Gabby Petito Foundation, in hopes that what happened to Gabby doesn't happen to anyone else. Rodney Philly created his YouTube channel in 2011. He lived in Phoenix, Arizona with his wife Tanisha, and the two of them built a small following under the names Finny the Legend and Bubbly. They had around 6,000 subscribers, not huge by any standard, but enough to get noticed. The couple loved Las Vegas, and they drive out there from Phoenix regularly and film themselves walking the strip. He'd been on YouTube for 14 years, but at some point things picked up and suddenly more people were watching. But along with that attention came conflict. The problem started on Halloween 2023. Another streamer named Manuel Ruiz, who went by Sin City Manny, got into an altercation with the Finleys that night. According to witnesses, Ruiz pepper sprayed Tanisha. Tanisha apologized for the altercation afterward, but the Finleys wanted an apology in return, but Ruiz never gave one. After that, Finny spent lots of his airtime criticizing Ruiz. He'd run hours-long live streams reacting to Ruiz's videos and reading comments about him out loud.
That's why I want to put it on y'all too. If he give us another strike and I got 3, y'all know that channel mean everything to him. He don't got no outside friends, nothing. I don't think I could do it in my heart. And I'm saying this on live so he can hear it too. Shout out LDT. But I don't think I can take his channel from him, man. Let's get this clear though, y'all, because we all laugh and joke. This is a PR. This is a PR moment. We all laugh and joke, but mental illness is real, and we can clearly see this guy is mentally ill. He's so close to going in the closet, man, and he's so close, man.
Fuck that. You know what the first thing I asked you, did you give him a strike?
The two men went back and forth publicly for close to 2 years. Parts of the beef came down to territory. Ruiz was apparently demanding that Finley couldn't film in certain places, as he was losing viewers. People who used to watch Manny were now donated to Finny instead. Ruiz would use racial slurs, while Finley would insult Ruiz's wife, and it just kept escalating. At one point, Ruiz reportedly said on a live stream, "I hope your mom has a black dress because I'm going to kill you." Finley's mother told him to calm it down. She said she warned him that things were going too far. On June 8, 2025, the Finleys were in Las Vegas for Rodney's birthday. They were walking near the Bellagio fountain that night, doing what they always did, filming themselves and talking to their audience. Ruiz had posted a live stream from his car, driving around casinos, saying he was looking for Finny.
Jerome, I'm out here searching for my baby. I went through every casino there is. I heard there's one of my biggest fans here in town. I'm dying to see him. Dying to see him. What are we doing? Fuel bar tonight? Is that what we're doing? I'll be there. I'll be there. You better believe it. You come to my city and think I'm not gonna show up? You think I'm not gonna show up? I should have been the first one to be told. Right? Somebody should have sent me my invite. Mr. Marquez. That's right. outside. We're doing fuel bar tonight? I'm fucking there, homie. What's the fuel bar without the fuel? Fucking go. Or wherever you go, I will be there. Oh man, come on. I have to say hi to my biggest fan. You know? I heard that shit. I jumped out of my fucking bed. It came out here so fucking fast. I'm very disappointed right now. All this long stream and I didn't see my biggest fan. Teardrop. Just know instigators get this shit too.
That Sunday night, around 11 o'clock, the two men would cross paths outside the Bellagio. Finley was midstream when it happened. His mother was watching from her home in Phoenix. She called him. He told her he couldn't talk because he was live streaming, and then she heard gunshots. The video from Finley's stream showed a man pull a gun from his waistband and point it in Finley's direction. Multiple muzzle flashes are visible, and 7 shots rang out. Tanisha can be heard on camera screaming, and she was struck twice in the head. Rodney was hit multiple times. Both of them died there on the sidewalk. Police used casino surveillance footage to track down the shooter as he fled through the Paris Valet area. He threw away his hat and shirt and hid his gun between a fence and a wall. The next morning, Manuel Ruiz turned himself in at Henderson Police Station. He told police he'd acted in self-defense. He said Finley reached toward his waistband and said, "What up, cuz?" in a way that made Ruiz believe he had a gun. He also said he saw a shiny black object in Tanisha's hand and thought that was a gun too. No weapons were found on either of the Finleys, and none were visible in any of the video footage either. When detectives showed Ruiz the actual livestream footage, the one that clearly showed him walking toward Finley while firing, he got frustrated and asked for a lawyer. Ruiz was charged with 2 counts of murder with a deadly weapon, and prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. He's pleaded not guilty. Rodney and Tanisha's son called 911 from Phoenix that night, and so did Tanisha's mother. They'd both been watching the live stream when it happened. Online feuds are often considered to be stupid and childish, and really they are, but sometimes things can take an extreme turn. And in this case, it left a man and his wife dead at the hands of another YouTuber. And that's the end of the video, folks. If you found this video interesting, be sure to like, leave a comment, subscribe if you're new, and consider supporting me on Patreon. All patrons get early ad-free access to videos, and higher tiers get their names on the board and a shout out. I'd like to thank all of my patrons for their support, especially those whose names you're seeing on screen now, particularly Mimi, Pizza Guy 111, Lagged Into Sunlight, KJ Musical, Losana, Xander Stewart, Brandon Field, Anthony B. Fernandez, John Blood Smells Like Duty, Helen Korn, Kyle, BAN, Brendan O'Connell, Adam Clayton, Count Nagula, Danny Jade, Paul Mendoza, Squishy, Alex Christmas, Bella Schwartz, Belle Siegel, Stimulate, Inquisitor Zarius, and Dick the Cock Johnson and the Woodmaster at WrestleMania X69 or Maybe Not Dude. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.